Hello everybody. Welcome to the Team Yamaha headquarters for the BVRL. Just thought I'd do a little quick video for you guys to show you what we've got in the works here, show you all the sleds that we have, go through some of the parts and stuff that we have. We're starting up in my front garage here. Next to me is, I believe it's a 1985 Yamaha SS 440. This is the sled that my son Keegan raced last year. And I've had this sled for a long time, maybe 7 years, maybe not, that's not that long for some of you, but long for me. So we actually, the motor is no good in that one. It's sitting down on the ground next to me here. We had a little mishap with the premix and destroyed it. So there was some damage there. The ring hopped off its groove and was a little tough to get out of the cylinder. So the lower end's really good and fresh on that motor, and that will come back at some point, but that's not the motor that we're going to put back in this one. We're actually building a 540 to drop into there, and I'll show you that in just a minute. As long as we're up here, just some of the spare stuff that we've got sitting on the shelf. There's a SS 440 motor back there that's a little low on compression. It does run. We've got a Enticer 300 motor here, also kind of low on compression. That one probably won't get put back into anything anytime soon. And then I've got a spare exciter engine here. You can tell the difference because the spark plugs are tipped on that one, and also it uses metal shrouding and a different setup for the fan. That one drives off of the recoil. So yeah, I think that's it for up here. So we'll take a walk outside and show you the area of the yard that we call the bone yard. More like our parts area. We have you can just go right down the line. So we've got a 1978. Should like pan to me. 1978 exciter, which is mostly complete. It's missing a ski. It's got a decent seat on it. It's got a motor that turns over yet. Everything else is there. The carb. Yeah, there's that one. I'll be robbing that for parts for my machine, I'm sure. Now we have an 1980, I believe, 80 or 81 SS 440. We took the secondaries off this one already. Motor in it is total junk. It's seized, and this one has sat outside for quite a long time. This one here is a 1987 SRB, and what used to be here is now on the shop bench. This is where we got our motor that we're going to build for the sled that we showed you earlier in the garage, that 85 SS. This one here is a I'm going to get this one wrong. I don't know for sure. It's an early 80s, 82 I believe, Enticer 300. This one has a later model Enticer 340 engine in it. It's not complete. This one might be making an appearance on the track this year. It's a smaller chassis. Should be pretty quick when we get it running. So you got to come around the front and see this one. Alright, so we have a Frankenstein sled as well. This is I believe it's a Trailfire chassis, a John Deere chassis. It's a Trailfire LX chassis. It has I think it's an early to mid 70s Yamaha. It's either I'm not even sure what engine that's out of.
I think it might be a 440.
has some electrical gremlins and stuff, and may or may not ever run again. So again, most of these are just parts machines. So this little guy here is a 70, I believe it's a 78 ET250. It's not in terrible shape. We're working on, has a no spark condition, so we're going to get this one going shortly. It's been sitting for a while. We're just replacing the coil here. We'll see if that does the trick. Otherwise, I've got some CDI boxes and stuff that we'll throw at it and see if we can get it to run. It's got really good compression, and it should be a nice little sled when it's done. So, but this one is not really of use for us because we race these old guys, so this one will probably go up for sale shortly. So we'll head back into the shop.
Hey there.
This is where we keep the good stuff. I mean, when I say the good stuff, I'm not talking about these two guys. Ashton and Clanus. Tony and Clanus, or Ever as we call him, affectionately. Alright, so we'll work our way across this row first. So we have a pair of 1983 Yamaha XL3s. Both are runners. All the sleds in the shop here are runners. This was kind of like a backup alternate sled last year. We call it Jerry. We said that when you start the sled up, it kind of smells like an old person, so we call it the geriatric sled, and it just got shortened up to Jerry. So this is Jerry, and Jerry was a backup. Good runner though, fun machine. This is the sled that I raced all year last year, and I don't have my exhaust on, which is probably the best part about it. It's the PBR stack. You guys saw that in my other video, but this is a good running sled. It's got a lot of little add-on character items to it. Just your standard Enticer 340 engine. Took the starter off, and basically anything else that I didn't need, got rid of all that stuff. I've got the secondary apart right now. We're going through that, making sure it's all clean and ready to go. So this guy will be dominating in the 400 and under class this year, hopefully. The blue SS here is I think it's an 82. Correct me in the comments if you guys know what it is. I think it's an 80. I think it's an 82 or an 83. SS 440. I picked this up last year for $60. It actually runs. We raced it a couple times last year. The track is kind of bald and the suspension's completely clapped out. It's just sitting on the ground right now. So this one probably will either be like a parts donor or a backup sled for us this year. I don't know. Always ran okay. We had a few minor issues with it, but it's got the mighty Yamaha 440 power plant that it's pretty quick. So
very clean, very clean.
Very clean engine. All right, Tony, do you want to take him through the?
All right.
This is Ashton's baby here. We'll let him talk about it a little bit.
1987 Yamaha XL3 340. It's got 2,059 miles on it.
What's
Absolutely
its nickname?
Mint.
What's its nickname?
It's the Deuce Missile.
Why do we call it that?
Check out this color.
Nice grandma brown.
Yeah.
She's brown and she's quick.
Deuce.
Let me show him.
It's the Deuce Missile.
Deuce Missile.
Basically the same engine as the other XL3s over there. The old reliable Enticer 340. Just can't beat them. I mean, they're so reliable, good running sleds. All these are really old and they just keep on going. So love these things. And they move. So if you want to maybe come around, get a look at the exciter. So I picked this sled up last year as well. Oh, I'm sorry. So the two XL3s I bought together. they had been sitting for a long time. I paid $100 a piece for them. They both started and ran on the trailer, but they had been neglected severely. So Ashton bought his XL3 for what was
200.
it? For $200. It did run. We had to do some stuff to it. We had to replace his throttle.
Multiple times.
We went through the carb. But the track is good on it. The skis, I mean, everything else is really nice and clean on the thing, and it ran great last year. So it's been a good sled. So $200 here. Those two were $100 a piece. That one was $60. This one here is a 1978 Exciter 440. These are, if you're watching the video because you love old Yamahas, you already know that these are a little more desirable. So I had to pay a little more money for this one. I think it was $350. But this one had been sitting for, the owner said like 5 years, but the gas tank smelled like 15. So I had to go through the entire fuel system on it. We ran it a little bit and raced it a little bit last year, but there was so much garbage in the gas tank that it didn't really hold up. So I went through the whole fuel system on this one. This year I rebuilt a Comet clutch. I have some special goodies in there, and then I rebuilt my secondary as well. Little special goodie in there. It's got some performance reed valves in it. I experimented a little bit, and I kind of made a Stinger exhaust. I do have the original one yet, but we'll see how this thing does. I'll probably do some R&D on it and do a couple passes with this exhaust and do a couple passes with the stock exhaust and see if there's a difference with that one way or another. I know this one's way louder, which I kind of like. So if they're even, I'm using the loud one. That's just what I like. So the other sled over here is an boy, what is this? Is my son Griffin's. He's not here right now. This is a mid 80s. I think it's an 85 Yamaha XL5 or XLV. This is a 540 and was sold originally as a 2-up. I believe he paid around $150 or so for the sled. It runs good. Looks pretty close to the same as the 440 engines and stuff. So he's going to see what he can get out of this thing when we start the racing season. So I don't know, we can take a look at some of the stuff we've got on the shelf over here. So I guess we can start from here. We've got a Yamaha YPZ clutch off of the SRV that we're going to be cleaning up, and we're going to use that in the very first sled that you saw, the 85 SS440. We're going to be putting that in there with the 540 engine out of the SRV that we're currently rebuilding. We have the cylinders here, they're honed. We sanded and cleaned the surfaces really good on the intake ports, and we cleaned up the exhaust ports really good on them. We've got some performance pistons here and our gasket sets, and then we've got the 540 block sitting here. We got to separate that, and we're going to replace the crank seals. We're going to check the crank bearings and stuff on it, and you know, slap it back together and get it running. I've got a Comet Duster clutch sitting right here. It's got little to no mileage on it, and we're probably going to put that one in Jerry, the 83 XL3 over there. That one will probably see more action this year in the 400 and under class. I've got a Enticer clutch that's pretty clapped out. That's probably going to be used for parts. I've got my secondary off my XL3 sitting apart. I'm waiting for a new spring for that. Here's the old one. And then I've got the Exciter 440 original primary sitting here. I didn't pull that one apart to see if it was good because I rebuilt the Comet and put that on it. So yeah, that's where we're at with our stuff. What's the count on that? So there's 6 here. I think there's 6 out there. I think 13 total sleds. 6 have potential to hit the track this year. The others are just for parts. So yeah, it's just an update on what we're doing, and you know, we'll be making videos along the way to kind of show you guys where we're at. You know, always stuff to do around here. So until the next time, thanks for watching. Take care.